Kaver-3 Ameerika Jalgpalli podcast.
Tere tulemast kuulama Kaver-3 Ameerika Jalgpalli podcasti, minu nimi on Ülar ja täna me teeme siis järgmisele erilise episoodi ja selleks on mul vaja rääkida inglise keeles jälle. So, let's go to English.
Man, it's crazy how that sounds like exactly like Finnish.
Does it actually sound like Finnish?
Yeah, for me, yes.
Yeah, okay. Good. Because, yeah, it is different. Like,
yeah, I know.
So. But for that, I have here Jerome, Valbon.
Hey, hello everybody.
French guy, our tight end.
Yep.
One of the oldest guys on the team.
I think like in the top 3.
Yeah, top 3. Okay, we added some old guys throughout the season, but yeah.
So maybe I went down into the top 5, you know.
But yeah, like every time I have somebody here like with football background, I usually start like the simple question like, why football? Like because it's still like American football is a weird sport. You know?
It is.
And everybody has a cool story with it, so.
Mine is a pretty weird, you know, like I started being pretty good at soccer. I was in the PSG soccer academy and your boy was a future pro goalkeeper, you know.
Goalkeeper. That makes sense.
And I don't know, I just it was a weird transition for me getting to the PSG academy from the team I was prior, so I didn't really make a lot of friends. And kind of took it out on soccer. And then I tried rugby in France, which was pretty big. I think I was about 15, 16.
So were you in that like a club system and stuff? Or like, was it like the academies and stuff?
So the academy is just academy, you know, it's with school and it's connected.
Okay.
Then when I tried rugby, it was with the school as well. So I was not into the sport at all until like my PE teacher came to me and he was like, hey, you know, we have a rugby team. Like, you're pretty big. We could use you. So I was like, yeah, why not? So me, a bunch of my friends, we just signed up just for the fun of it. And then I was like, oh, really, rugby is pretty nice. Like I was getting into it a little bit, but I was getting red cards every time.
Oh, they have cards too?
Yeah, they do. Surprising fact. But I think I played about 15 games, and on those 15, I got about 7 or 8 cards. Which is, and out of those 8, I got 4 reds. Oh. Which is, pretty big. So I was like, oh, I love the contact sport. I just wish it was a little bit less restrictive.
Okay.
And then one day I'm on vacation and in my town, the youth house was having a orientation week and they just introduced us to flag football. Oh. And the guy over there was like, man, like with the hands you have, the speed, like you could be on the French national team and like play for the World Cup and shit like that. And me as a 16 years old, I'm like, you bullshitting. Like there is no way it's true. And it actually was true. Like one year into the sport, I got called for the youth national team.
Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Which, where are you actually from in France?
So I'm from the Parisian suburb. Like the Parisian ghetto, the French ghetto, like big towers, a lot of black people, you know? that kind of shit. You know?
Okay. And that's where you played your. When you did your soccer stuff, that was also in that area. Or?
No, it was another town, but still in the
same area.
Yeah, pretty much the same area.
And then when you got the flag football, like. I mean, looking at you right now, you were probably the coaches were like, yeah, you're going to play tackle football pretty quickly.
The craziest part is I wanted so bad to play tackle football, but I started the flag football at the end of the tackle football season. Like the team was already getting prepared for the playoffs. So the coach was like, oh, we really want to take you in, but we won't have time to train you for you to be good for the playoffs. So just stay for next year.
Okay.
And so I played flag football all summer.
Okay.
With everybody was coming to me and were like, oh, you played like football, right? And I was like, no, that's actually my first year. And they're like, oh my God. Like,
okay.
I was like, yeah.
And then first foot, then after, because your French season ends in like a summer somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense because I'm.
You gotta know something about French people. We don't fuck with vacation. You will never see a French sport going on during vacation. We have a summer break. It's summer break.
Summer break?
Like, it's not sport break. It's summer break.
Okay.
You go on vacation. You do not do sports. Like,
Actually, like just being in Estonia and trying to like develop the American football in Estonia, like kind of the same. I have kind of the same idea because we lose so many guys over the summer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on vacation there. We already have limited number of people.
Yeah.
Then you lose like 3 guys. It's like, fuck sakes, come on.
But the craziest part is like from the Parisian area, like a lot of the players are coming from like poor families and stuff like. So we don't have the money to go on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we hear the whole summer. We don't go nowhere.
You don't have anything else to do. Yeah.
But you know, the league is rather to have like some teams missing player for the summer vacation. Like, we don't play during summer.
Okay. And so you played flag football. It was probably fun, but in the back of your head, you still wanted to play.
Oh yeah, man! Like they made me try the helmet, and I was like, yeah, that's the thing.
So how was the first practice then when you put the pads on?
I got destroyed on the first. Like, my pad level was crazy.
What position?
They started me as a tight end right away.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like, because I started 9 football, so like you had 3 offensive linemen, and then the rest was receivers. Yeah. But the 3 guys we had, sorry guys, if ever you see that video, sucked. So
I'm pretty sure they're not gonna see that one.
And we never know, you
never know. It's pretty internet.
But yeah, they kind of sucked. So they put me as a tight end. So I was able to help on the offensive line a little bit, blocking and everything.
What was your, like, you were 17 then or 16, something like that?
Yeah, I was 17.
So you were probably, height was already there, right?
My height, the size,
the weight was already like over 100 kilos.
I was 90 kilos something.
Oh,
so
okay. Still,
I was
solid.
Any other team, I most likely would have been a wide receiver.
Okay.
That one, they were just like, oh, we more into small receivers, so we're gonna try you as a tight end, you know.
Okay.
So I think that was one of the first mistakes in my career, was to settle and be like, okay, I'm a play tight end. That's kind of nice. They sold me the position really great. They said, you're gonna block, but you're gonna catch a lot of football. I'm still waiting for those football to be caught, man.
And you're not getting younger, and they're not gonna come anymore.
It's crazy. Like, every year after year, as a tight end, the number of targets are decreasing. You know?
But I mean, that's a tight end role, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky enough that I love the job, like creating the opportunities for the running backs or the quarterback to run behind me. Like, I really like it. So that I'm still satisfied by it, you know. Like, I had opportunities to play a lot of different positions after. But I don't know. I just fell in love with and at the time, Jeremy Shockey was playing for the Saints.
Yeah,
and
that's my boy. I don't have a Giants flag here, but he was a Giant legend
before
that.
Yeah,
but yeah, he was with Saints.
And he was like the first time they talked me about that position, I was like, all right, I'm gonna look up tight ends on YouTube, and that's the first one that popped in, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be that guy.
That's how it's supposed to be, you know.
Yeah.
Like, because then you have the motivation to do that too. Like, because tight end is little better, but like, how do you sell a freaking goal lineman? Like, yeah, you're gonna be O lineman. Like, if you don't know anything about the sport, like, you have to be a good and creative initially to make him interested in the position. Because it doesn't look that good, actually.
No. Like, as an offensive lineman, when you come first to the sport, if you are not unathletic, like just a big man that just want to have friends playing sport and being an athlete, like, there is no appeal to that position. Like, you're just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, get it every play and get none of the glory?
Best sentence is, which O-line coach was it? But the idea was that you're gonna play 60 snaps. You're gonna beat Mark Schlereth. The Broncos offensive lineman said, you play 60 snaps, you're going to beat 3 of them, you're going to give up 3 sacks, but on 57 of the snaps, you were perfect. You still had a shitty day.
Oh, yeah.
That's like just
I think as a position, it's the most unrewarding one. Like, you allow a sack. Like guys on the NFL as a defensive end or DT, you get 10 sacks on the season. That is a crazy good stat.
Yep.
As an offensive lineman, you're going to take 1,000 snaps and you only allow 10 sacks. You are pretty bad. You are pretty bad.
There is no stats. There's no. That's why it's so hard. At least I know from my Estonian experience too. Now it's so hard to like recruit big guys because like we tried with strongmen and stuff. I mean, for them it's way more interesting being in a gym and lifting weights and shit like that. Yeah. And so like,
being a big man in Europe is so unrewarding. Like it's really hard. Leagues don't really pay attention to the big men. A lot of time it's just they take, like I said, unathletic guys that just look the part but don't really does the job, you know. And so if you're big and you're listening to that, get to the gym and you can make a lot of money.
Where do most of European non-Americans to NFL, what positions do they usually play?
Offensive lineman or defensive lineman.
And for some reason, right?
Yeah.
Because I guess the learning curve isn't too bad. I mean, that may be a difficult thing.
I think the learning curve, the position is not as hard to learn. Like, but one of the different thing is like it's a mentality. As on the line in the trenches, it's all about mentality. You can be the biggest dog or the smallest one. If you have the best mentality, you're gonna dominate a lot lot Yeah.
Like you have to be a bit of a meathead, you know.
You have to have a problem a little bit.
You have to have a couple of those screws, at least. Okay, so you started playing American football, like a tackle football with bats and everything. First game, any good memories? Anything fun happened in the first game?
I wish I could tell you my first game was the most amazing one. I remember, it was an away game. I remember that because I was like, where are we going? And they were like, we're going to Nantes, which is like a city on the west side of France, compared to Paris. And I was like, are we actually going all the way there? And they were like, yeah, we are.
Didn't believe that you're gonna
no, like you know, like with the academy, we were doing a lot of games with like a team from around France and everything. But like there is so many level of league in France that just in the Paris area there is about 25 division of soccer. So you don't really get out.
You don't need to.
No, exactly. You don't really get out of the Parisian area you play like teams from around.
Okay.
And then, oh my God, like we actually traveling fucking 5 hours on the bus.
Okay.
First time in a really, really long time.
I mean, probably you are used to that now. But after 10 years of playing American football.
After playing in Finland, I can tell you like there is no bus tragic that scares me.
That's fair. But anything special happened in the first game? Don't you remember that?
I mean, I was a really, really good blindside blocker. I was
which is now illegal.
Wait, that's one of the things I miss the most about football.
Really?
Because I see some guys just like cruising around and having fun, like getting a little stroll on the field, and I'm like, back in my days, brother.
Those are from a defensive point of view. I know if you don't see them sometimes, holy shit.
It was a different time. I mean, for the safety of the players, it's nice that it's not part of the game anymore. But at the same time, like
it was fun to deliver those hits, though.
As a receiver or a tight end lining up in the flat, seeing a linebacker trying to do the pursuit on the running back and just bam, that was crazy.
But what year was it actually? Then remember?
2011, 2012, maybe.
Was your first game?
Yeah, 2011 maybe.
Huh. Mine too.
Oh, for real? Yeah. Hey, look at us. Hey, you about as old as I
know. But then you played the whole season there in France?
Yeah, I did the whole season. And after
that was what league actually in France?
That was the junior second division.
Okay, juniors. You have multiple junior divisions?
We had, and it was crazy because we had 11 players. And 9 players, like both were kind of different leagues. We had 9 players national and 9 players, 11 player national.
Okay.
Because a lot of team outside of Paris were not able to like get the
linemen.
the number of players that they needed.
Yeah, true,
and like we said, being an offensive lineman is hard to find.
Yeah.
So like that's why they had like the only 3 instead of 5, because it was easier to set up.
Yeah, that's true. So how long did you play there, like in France in general? Like,
so I spent 2 seasons with that team.
Season? Okay.
I spent my junior second year, because the junior first year I couldn't play.
Okay.
And the junior third year, which that was junior I did juniors first, junior second, and junior third there.
Okay.
And then after that, I traveled a little bit in football. I went to Canada for JUCO.
Okay,
and,
so wait, no, that's gonna get interesting. So, but when you were playing in French, you were still in high school, or
I was in high school. Yeah.
Okay.
I was high school, so it was kind of hard to work, because like in France, like sports is not part of your schedule. And they really don't see a sport as something that will bring anything in your life.
Yeah,
so
it's
like,
a hobby, right? It's a fun thing to do, right?
Exactly. It's like, oh, you have a shit ton of homework, and I don't care if you are not going to be home for the weekend.
Yeah.
When you're traveling on the National League, you leave on Saturday morning and come back really, really late on Saturday night, or even sometimes Sunday morning. And it was, you have to find a way to do your homework in the meantime.
Yeah, it's a freaking grind if it's like if you would have to work at the same time too. Like, it's fucking impossible, because that's roughly that time period where you kind of have to grow up too, right? You have to start getting some income and shit.
You have to be a little bit social. You have to, have friends outside of football and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. I had a girlfriend also at the time that was not really like understanding of
yeah, that's
the lifestyle
challenge.
of being a football player, so he was trying to juggle with school, football, and the girlfriend was really hard. But I think I made the right choice.
Feels like it. So, but I'm guessing after high school, you went to Canada then.
Yeah, so I finished, I was gonna pretty much stop with high school. I was not really into school at all.
Fair enough.
They made me make a choice between sport and school, and I was like, "Fuck y'all, I'm going with sport." So I was really just gonna give up and find a job, and I actually did. Halfway through my last high school year, I kind of stopped going to school. I had about like 400 hours of absences.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like it was really terrible. And then I got selected for the French national team a little bit earlier during the year.
That was now the junior, or was it junior still?
Junior,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it took me a long time before to get into the senior one.
We gotta get there.
Yeah, we're gonna get there later. And yeah, so I was getting ready for the Junior World Cup that was in Kenton. Ohio, and unfortunately did not get selected. But
that's a cool place. I've been there. Like, it's freaking cool.
I really wish I would.
Yeah, I think so too.
I was getting my passport ready. Everything was getting ready, but I didn't get invited into the trip.
Okay.
So at one point, my name was still on the list of players selected by the French national team. I was just on the reserve, but you still have to put your name just in case. And so a JUCO from Canada reached out to me.
And JUCO is the same as the US, like the same idea, the JUCO, right?
It's a little bit different. So I went,
junior college, right?
Yeah, it's an equivalent.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a tough word.
I'm not even gonna try that. So
come on, try it.
It's roughly the same.
But yeah, it's about the same. It's just that in the part of Canada I went to, between high school and university, they have an extra school.
Okay.
So which is equivalent. Oh, I got it. Oh, that was a good one.
Don't think about it.
That was equivalent to junior college. Man, I can't stop saying the word. And yeah, that's how they found me. They reached out. They wanted to see if I was interested into coming, and I was like, hell yeah, man. Like, I just got told by the French national team that I wasn't good enough.
Right.
So I was like, I'm trying to find a way to prove them that they were wrong.
Okay.
And
that's a good motivation.
I'm pretty sure
I think it worked. Yeah, I think it did work. Yeah.
Pretty sure I did.
And but that's still school. You just told me about you don't like school and stuff. But
so
was it, how school was it actually? Like how much did you learn there? Like was it actually meant so you can use that education there to get to the universities, or how does it work?
That junior college only work in that part of Canada.
Oh, really?
So if you get out of that part of Canada, it doesn't mean
matter.
anything.
Okay.
So the main goal for me was I'm gonna go there,
Play ball,
and then see what happened next.
Okay.
So in order to do that, I needed my bachelor degree from high school in France. But as you remember, I told you I had about 400 hours of absences in one of my principal subjects. So I went back to school. Out of nowhere, I showed up on Monday morning and everybody was like, Jerome, what the fuck you doing here, man? I thought we were done. And I was like, oh, I just need my bachelor degree.
Okay.
And I went on. Everybody in my family was like, oh, maybe next year you can have it, but I don't think you're going to be able to have it this year. Well, I was like, I'm going to prove you wrong again. Like, I like when the odds are stacked against me, just to show off and come in. So I actually got it.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of the guys from the school actually tried to make me give up, so he was the one that had to give me my diploma. So I was like, "Oh, I guess you were wrong."
That's the best.
Yeah, that was the best middle finger I ever gave someone, But yeah, so I got really stacked up all the money I had saved up and just packed up to Canada.
Did it come with some scholarship or no?
So there was no scholarship for junior college, but luckily it's cheap. I think it was like a semester over there was like $150, which is nothing.
Tell that to Americans.
Yeah. I had pretty much nothing to pay. You only had to pay for your books, which were expensive, but as
living dorms, everything was free, or that was under.
I had to pay,
but not
so
much.
It was not that expensive. I could sweep by and be sweet. And you had to buy your books, but from all the years I spent in high school, got a diploma, never actually bought any books. So I was like, I'm not gonna buy any books.
Okay.
So I was like, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's not too bad. But now, other question: what football did you play there?
Canadian football. Canadian football. It was a bit of a mix. So CFL football, Canadian football is like 3 down and then you're out of the field.
And 12 players, right?
And 12 players. Yeah. So junior college was 4 down football.
Okay.
But with 12 players.
Another set of rules. Perfect.
Yeah. Like it was the first game over there. Like that's the first game I can tell you about. Because that one got me completely fucked.
What you did?
I was lost with the rules. So we have legal forward motions.
Yeah.
So I was offside the first 5 plays. I have a picture where you can see me clearly off the ball compared to everybody else. Yeah. So it was just crazy. I couldn't comprehend the game. You had an extra player on the defense, so like it was just a lot of mindfuck for me.
Okay, yeah, I can imagine.
So the coach was a little bit disappointed. He was like, we signed him thinking we could play him as a wide receiver, but I guess he's just a tight end, so we're gonna play you just as a tight end and put me on the line, And I mean, I was still good. Blocking and catching balls from the line. It's just that I couldn't comprehend the forward motion. My brain was just not going forward with it, Yeah,
fair enough. But there's another advantage, right? T-line is like a yard further from you,
yeah,
right?
They are.
That's another difference,
They are.
right?
I had so many kill shots.
Really?
Oh, crack blocking was
So actually, that's a great question. Like, does it change that much actually that you have a 1 yard difference? That has to be 1 yard, right?
Yeah, it has to be 1 yard.
Between offensive and defensive lineman, right?
Yeah.
Does it change like the scheme wise and stuff, or it's more of a like technique thing?
It's more of a technique.
Okay.
Like what I think is crazier that it kind of allows people to be a bit more aggressive.
Really?
Like as a defensive lineman, you have 1 yard extra to do your first move. As the offensive lineman, you got 1 yard to just be like, okay, I can attack him, like
Yeah, that's true. You're gonna build up more speed.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, true.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I think that made the collisions a little bit like more soundy. Like it was that noise of helmet was a little bit crazier.
Okay.
It was really nice. But the advantage of that for me as a tight end, when I finally understood the forward motion and everything, like that, I could move around and pretty much do whatever I wanted just until the time I had to be on a certain side of the field, was that I could do whatever.
That's a freedom, right?
That's the freedom. That once I understood how much like that was impacting the defense, how we moved and everything, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Okay.
Like, can you imagine that you can start with 4 receivers on one side and out of the last minute, the 4 receivers that you had on your left side are all on the right side? Like, can you...
Plus, before snap, there forward motions. Right?
Yeah, you have the forward motion, and the wide receiver that is on the line has the right to move laterally as well.
Really?
Yes. So that guy that is your wide receiver on the right could be running full speed to the center and just snap the ball, and he's on the other side of the field. And when you had all your slot receivers on the left, they're all going to the right side of the center and running go routes. So like it was just crazy.
Yeah.
For everyone that is listening right now, if you've never seen Canadian football, I for real, I'm telling you, just watch one game. Like it's gonna be mind fucking.
it is different. It is freaking
it
crazy
is really
to watch.
different.
Like
it is really
I'll
different.
watch it a little bit. It is crazy. Plus your field is bigger too, right?
Yes, it is bigger.
So
running gathers on that field was hell.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, running casters. That's traditional in football.
Yeah. Especially in Canada, I think they gave up every other form of punishment, and it's just running every time, running. And my coach in JUCO was a really big flag guy, so every time we had 10 yard, it was a gasser.
Okay.
And
fuck's sake.
In Canadian football, when you punt, you have to give 5 yard to the returner.
And there's no fair catch, right?
There is no fair catch. So if the ball bounce and you are within 5 yard when you catch the football, it's a 5 yard penalty.
Oh, really?
From the point of the foul.
Okay.
Well, where the return hand, then they're going to get an extra 5. If the ball is in the air and you are within 5 yard, it's 15.
Yeah.
So they had up really, really much.
Yeah.
Really, really fast. Because in my JUCO, there was a lot of French guys that were used to play special team in France, where there is no error rule of 5 yards. So guys would just not comprehend that you have to give 5 yards to the returner and just be at him every time, put the pressure. So we were having about 1 to 125 to 150 yards every time. That's gathers. After practice.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, you were in shape at least.
Oh yeah, super shape, super shape.
Okay,
but oh my God, it was terrible.
Okay. So now you had which part of Canada were you?
It was in the French part, so it was in Quebec.
Okay, so you can. Was it in French then? Everything there?
Yeah, but it's not exactly the same French.
Yeah, so, there's a different French.
Oh yeah, like
makes sense.
To put that in perspective, French people from France use subtitle when they're watching movies from the French Canadian. Like,
that's bad.
That's that bad. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like a British English and American English.
No, it's actual different words, different way of setting up the sentences and everything.
Okay.
Like it is so bad that when we arrived in that JUCO, they had to give us a class to integrate us to the culture and everything over there, like the language and because when I moved there, I was like, it's just French Canadian. They speak French, and I arrived and the border agent that talked to me in French, I was like. Like, what'd you say, sir?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that bad. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's cool. But then obviously, how much English is there used, like in school and stuff? It's not 100% French, right? Or is it?
There was no English in the town I arrived. Like,
really?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna arrive there and like people were gonna speak English and everything, and I was gonna be lost because my English at the time was terrible.
Okay.
and my English was better than most of the people in that school.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was that bad.
Okay, so damn.
Like, I had an English class where I thought I was going to be in the bottom level, and they put me in the top tier. And I was like, oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's good. So the culture shock had to be a little bit, right?
It was crazy. The first month, I was lost. I was trying to learn a new kind of football, a new language, a new culture, like
New friends, everything.
new
right?
friends. Everything was just crazy.
Okay. Okay. Fuck. I never even realized that it can be that different. Like
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
the town I was living in was so cold.
Okay.
So cold. So like it was the month of September. Over there they start football in August. So first of all, that was the first mindfuck for me. In my head, as a French person, football is not gonna start until like late February. You know, like,
and you play the spring.
and you
that's
play the
early
spring,
summer,
and then early summer, and then after that it's summer break and all of that. But there, August, I had to go in school. I'd never been to school before September in my life. Let alone having to play football, practice, and
practice in cold, play football in cold. What is snow?
Like it was crazy.
Okay.
Like the most amount of snow I've seen in my life in Paris was maybe like 5 centimeters, and that lasted a day.
Yeah.
I arrived over there and like I was living in the basement. I had a window that was like at floor level, and like the whole winter I had no light
because it was covered with snow. Right?
Yeah, I had about like, I'm 6'3", like 190 centimeters. The snow banks they had over there were higher than me.
Okay, you were.
Yeah,
Canada.
Okay. Like, it's crazy.
That's great. Okay, so but after you played the first year there, it got better, right?
Yeah, so
you actually picked up the game eventually, and
I picked up the game. I think about halfway through the season, like where I was actually really, really good at it. That was to the point that the one game we had one of our star wide receiver that went down, and we had pretty much no option to replace him. So the coach was kind of like, all right, Jerome, you're gonna play wide receiver for that game because like we need we don't have anybody, and we can maybe try somebody else as a tight end. Little flex to replace me as a tight end that put in an extra offensive lineman. You know, like the best blocking option after me was an offensive lineman, so little flex.
Okay, that's not bad.
Little flex. But yeah, I played that game, and I think I had 110 receiving yard.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like he came to me after the game, and he was like, "Man, I thought you were just a fucking tight end just to block and like
you can catch
shit. You can catch."
Okay, and then I'm guessing after that game you were getting more opportunities.
I was getting a lot more targets. I played a little bit wide receiver, slot receiver, tight end. I was moving all around. Okay, and I was a nightmare for the DBs because I was blocking them like a tight end and running routes like a wide receiver. Okay. So it was really terrible for them. I had a couple clips of me just depleting like safeties and corner because they were not expecting somebody to go after them like that, you know?
Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah. We're gonna get there.
It was a little bit of an unfair advantage. A little bit.
Okay, so how long were you actually planning to be there, or how long is JUCO usually? A year or two?
I had the money just for a year.
For just 1 year.
Just 1 year. My plan was I'll go there,
get better,
and enjoy some new kind of football, so show people how good I could be, and we'll see what happened next. And I got so lucky that after at the beginning of the season I had no offers. Nobody was looking at me, of course, because I was just a French dude that just arrived in Canada. After that breakout game, I had 2 coaches that came from like 2 of the best universities in Canada, like scouting me. And then after that, I got offers from pretty much every university I wanted to go to.
In Canada or Canada. US too?
I really wish I had some American. I tried recruiting portals and everything, but I was never able to get a hold of anyone. I learned later on that recruiting portals, nobody check those. So like if you're trying to get recruited to play in the US, create yourself a Twitter,
Put your highlights on there.
Put your highlights on there
Yeah.
and send them to coaches on Twitter. That's the way to get signed. I didn't know that at the time. I wish I did because
You probably would have got some.
I probably could have get a couple offers, but you know, at the time, I think I had that financial stress behind me of like, I'm a grown up now.
Yeah.
I don't have the money to go anywhere near it if I cannot like get a scholarship. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna play it safe and stay in Canada.
So, and you signed with some university in Canada?
Yeah, so I had the University of Montreal, the University of Laval, which are the biggest two in Quebec, like where I was living at. But the only issue is like those cities were too big for me. Like, you know, coming from Paris, arriving in Thetford Mine, the city where my JUCO was at, it was a dead city. Like there was nothing else to do than football. Like,
and in big city, there's a lot more.
Yeah,
shit to do.
exactly.
Okay.
So I was like, I've seen big cities in my life. I just want something different. And then I got one of my coach that was like, like, why are you not talking about Bishop University? Like, why are you not talking to them? And I was like, well, every other university has reached out to me. They never send anybody to talk to me. And he looked at me and he was like, it's me. I'm the person they sent to talk to you.
No way.
That's not you. So he has been talking to me the whole season, but I never knew that he was actually
From that school.
and that he was actually trying to recruit me to go playing over there. So I was like, oh, like everybody sent someone to talk to me, but they actually never
There was
talked
no
to
like
me.
official
Yeah,
thing,
there was
right?
no official visit offer or anything like that. So it was like, oh, it's me. Like, like, if you tell me you're interested, I'm going to set up the visit for you and everything. So he was like, all right. I was like, all right, next weekend, the season's over. I have nothing to do. Let's go and visit. And oh my God, I fell in love with the school.
Okay.
It's like
Small town too?
small town.
College town, I'm guessing then?
It's a college town, but like a little bit of a mix. Like there is two universities in that town.
Okay.
One that is really big, like about 40 some thousand student, and Bishop University, which had like about 3,000 and a half student.
Okay.
Something like that. But it was a really pretty campus, like brick walls, like Hogwarts kind of
Really?
feel. Yeah, that's a really great vibe. I'm gonna show you a video later.
Okay.
Like it was really beautiful. And
Private then too, right?
it was private.
Okay.
It was a private school and it was an English speaking school.
Really?
So I was like, that's everything I've been looking for.
Okay.
And so the coach come up to me and he's like, the head coach come up to me and he's like, man, like, we want you. You are the future of this school at your position. Like nobody that we have is gonna be better than you, and we're not gonna be able to sign anybody better than you. We want you. So I was like, I want you to, guys. Like, that's me. And like the craziest part is like that night, they went out, you know, when you do a recruiting tour, they kind of try to take you out and like
show around.
So there was a basketball game. At the basketball game, like they introduced me to the crowd, like
really?
as a recruiting as a visitor. So they were like, oh, maybe a future football prospect, Jerome, Valbon, and like people just went crazy.
That's pretty good. Pretty good thing to sell you.
Yeah, like I was like, God damn, I can have fans like that, like people cheering my name and shit. So I did that, and then after that, they took me out on a night out at the football house. Like they had like a fraternity house that was just with football players.
Okay.
And like that was like a movie for me, you know, like when you watch like growing up, you watch American Pie and all the movies like that.
Yeah.
I stepped foot, like they had a little edge made of trees and stuff. I stepped foot in, and the first thing I see is like a lady running naked because like she lost at beer pong.
Oh, really?
She was doing the naked mile around the football house because she lost at beer pong. And I was like, what the fuck did I just step in? Like, yes, sign me up. Sign me up. And like, people were just coming to me and be like, oh, like you, that prospect football player, they introduced you at the basketball game. And I was like, okay, man, like, I can fuck with that. Like, I can do that. So
it feels good to be wanted, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like the other universities, they most likely would have done something like that too if I actually went on a visit with them. But I was like, man, after visiting that one, like that was my first visit, and I was like,
that's it, right?
I'm not going anywhere else.
Okay.
Like I found my home.
Okay.
And but it got a little bit complicated because of immigration and stuff like that. I needed a study permit to go to JUCO. Yeah. And then I needed a different study permit to be able to go to college. Yeah. So like I said, I really did not like school. So after the football season was done in JUCO, I pretty much stopped going to classes. Yeah. But what you don't know about is like in Canada and the US, like your grades are always connected.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Like in France, like once the semester is over or the year is over, like it's the grade from that year and nobody's going to care about it.
Yeah.
But in that instance, it impact the year after and the year after and like your GPA staying and everything like that, which I didn't know. I wish I knew because I would have done a little bit different.
Yeah, you would have worked a little harder, which you already proved in France that you can do, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. But did they offer a scholarship or something?
I had a full scholarship offer. Okay. The issue was my GPA.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So, because of the immigration issues, so my study permit was blocked only for JUCO. I couldn't go to university. I needed to apply for a new one, which my university accepted me. Did the whole process, went to training camp, and the last week of training camp, one of the coaches come to me and he's like, "Oh, they need to see you at the administration."
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah. I didn't know at the time, but like now I'm like, oh yeah, that was a terrible way. I was like, okay, then I need me to sign some papers. So I arrive over there and like they sat me in the office and like two people come in and they're like, Jerome, we're really sorry, but we checked your study permit and it's blocked. You cannot go to university with it. You'll need to apply for a new one. So I was like, yeah, but to apply, the issue is to apply for a new study permit. You need to have a letter of acceptance from the university.
Yeah.
Which the university didn't want it to give me until I have a new study permit.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's so messed up though.
So that was a cluster of mind fucking games of, go get that paper. Oh, you need that paper. No, go get that one.
But you can't get that paper because you don't give me that paper. What the
It was just crazy.
How did it work out then? Did it even work out?
So coming back from that meeting, I go back in the locker room to get my stuff for the next practice, and come to my locker. My name was gone, my helmet and shoulder pad were gone, and all my stuff were like put in a trash bag. Really? And pretty much, you're not gonna be part of this team now. Like I felt like I was in the NFL and I just got cut. You know, like it was crazy.
What the just
like that.
Did you meet with the coaches afterwards?
I met with the coach after, and he was like, "We tried everything possible to try to." Like at the time, the university was trying to crack down on like French football players because they were coming in, do one semester, pretty much what I did in JUCO, like just come in, play football, right? And then bounce. So they were like trying to crack down on that. So they pretty much were like, if you don't fix the paper situation, we cannot do anything for you. So I went back to France, went back to my first team. So the Avery Corsair. I played defensive and tight end over there. Like had a little bit of fun playing ball, trying to fix the paper situation. So I ended up just going back to JUCO, thinking like, okay.
You went back to JUCO?
I went back to JUCO because I still had 2 years left on my study permit to go to JUCO.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm going back to JUCO. Unfortunately, I couldn't play football anymore because I already signed my letter of intent for...
Really? So you were ineligible?
I was ineligible. Okay. So I couldn't play football in JUCO anymore. But luckily, the coach really loved me. So he let me practice with the team.
Also, you can still get better.
I was getting better.
Was it actually better? That practice is all the environment was better than in France, what you had?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
That was miles of difference.
Okay.
We had physio, we had a recovery room, we had a gym, like
athletic trainers, everything. Right? Okay.
It was two world.
Okay.
Like in France, we had to buy our own tape and tape ourselves. You know, I'm not a physio, and I was taping my own ankles.
Yes.
So it was terrible.
Yeah. We all been there. It's fucking terrible. Okay. And so you went back to JUCO then,
So
just to practice.
I went back to JUCO just to practice. I was the best practice hero ever.
Best scout player ever.
Oh
probably.
yeah, man! I was going crazy. Going crazy, but luckily that get me in touch again with the same university. The guy that recruited me was still there.
Oh, was he?
So he was kind of working in the shadow to find a solution for me to be able to go back.
Did you know about it? You guys
I knew about it.
Okay. So back of your mind, there was at least some hope.
Yeah,
that possibly
there was a hope that I was still going
because
to
you
college.
need a fucking goal to work towards. Because if it's just practicing there and like, then it's fucking hard to do that.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Okay.
Like I was part of the team, but not part of the team at the same time. Like
exactly.
away game, they were kind of bringing me along, but I was useless.
Yeah,
you know, I was just there and hey, have fun, boys.
Can't help you guys today, bro. I can help you in practice. I can beat you.
Like the craziest part is like the year after I left JUCO, they changed the rule about the letter of intent. So like you could sign in college
really?
and then come back and play JUCO.
But you didn't apply because you did before that.
I applied to college, so it was over for me.
Oh shit!
But it was a great experience. You know, when I finally was able to get to college, I was starving. I was a mad dog. I was like, I lost that opportunity once. I wasted 1 year of my college career. I'm starving. Like I want to play.
Plus, there's another. What age were you when you went back to the college? Now,
I was 21.
21, you went to Bishop, and now officially.
Now officially eligible.
So you
21.
spent 2 years in JUCO, roughly?
Yeah,
2 years. So those are like primitive years, you know, development wise still. Like you're alone now in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, just my experience. Well, I was 18 in the US as exchange student. Like same shit. Like you're alone in the middle of fucking nowhere, kinda, and that it does make you like a grown man quicker. Like which helps you a lot in the future and all that shit.
And I mean, in JUCO, I was broke, man. Like broke. Like I had the pack of rice, and that was my meal for like 2 days. Like I was just like maybe sometime put some mayonnaise in it, like to give it some taste.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a rough time. And like when I went back, I was a little bit richer because I was just coming back from France and I worked and I was playing football and all of that. But like my first year in JUCO, like I went from being a kid to being a grown ass man really
quickly. Yeah. Because you you had to fight for yourself now.
There is no mom and dad to run to if you get stuff. Like there is no just I'm giving up. Like I'm 6,000 kilometers away from home. Like
and there's no like I want to go home. There's no immediate it's a fucking hassle. So.
Even if I wanted, like I did not have the money to fly back to France. Like I have a one-way ticket. That was it.
but you know, like you get the army to the shore and burn the boats.
Yeah.
And let's fucking go. Okay, so you made it to Bishop.
Yeah.
And small university.
Small university. The Hogwarts of Canada.
Okay.
Number 2 party school in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. That explained the naked lady running around the house, you know.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's a good experience. You know?
It was.
And so Canada has their own college system like NCAA in US.
Yeah,
right?
they do.
And so you do play your freaking divisions and shit like that.
Yeah.
How long were you there in Bishop?
I was there for 3 years.
3 years? And
3 years, yeah.
You ever won anything like championships or some stuff like that?
We sucked.
Oh, you were really bad?
We were really bad. So my first year, when I actually signed my letter of intent, I was going to go there. They ended up being number 1 in the conference. They went
really?
7-3. No, 6-2. Sorry, it was 8 regular season games. They went 6-2, top of the division, and lost in the home playoff the first game against Montreal, which was
the other school,
was a big school. And Montreal that year win the Vanier Cup, which is the university so university league.
Okay.
So the Montreal and Laval, the two big schools from Quebec, are the two schools that win the championship the most.
Okay.
So like they're the biggest.
Yeah.
Like it's
like Alabama and those.
Yeah,
like Georgia. Yeah.
Laval is compared to Alabama all the time.
Oh,
like they send the school that send the most player in the NFL or get like
CFL
prospect
players.
or CFL players from that school.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
So it's a crazy great program. They have like a 25,000 seat stadium for Canadian University. That is crazy.
Okay.
I think Montreal is the closest next, and they have like about 15,000 seats.
Okay.
And like they don't fill it up all the time. It's not the same kind of stadium either. Like Montreal is more of like a stadium lost in the city, and Laval is like a city built around the stadium.
Okay.
You know, like it's crazy.
Okay.
And yeah, so they went 6-2, lost in the playoffs. So I was like, yeah, next year we get like a great recruiting class. We're gonna be even better. We went 1-7.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Okay.
that hurt.
What happened?
The quarterback graduated.
Okay.
So he was tough to replace.
Yeah.
I think a lot of good prospect didn't want to come to Bishop as well in the past because that quarterback was there. You know, like
true.
you're not going to a school that has a starting quarterback for the next 5 years if you know that there is a starting quarterback for the next 5 years. So we lost the quarterback that graduated, and then after that, we struggled a little bit offensively. And defensively and on special teams. Pretty much everywhere.
And every year was a bit of a struggle. Like,
so the year after we went 1-7 again.
oh, okay. Keeping the streak alive.
Yeah, I mean, hey. We were consistent.
Yeah. Nothing else.
And then I think my last year we went 7.
Really? You went 3 years.
But the craziest part is my first 2 years we were in the Quebec division, which is the RSEQ, RSEQ, sorry, in English. Sorry for So it's like the second best division in Canada.
Okay.
We were a 3,500 student school against school like McGill, which is fucking internationally known for their program and everything, that has like 80-some thousand students. Laval that has 100,000 students. Montreal that has 80-some thousand students. Sherbrooke University, who has like 40,000 some students. You know, it was
huge difference.
We had also Concordia University that has like 60-some thousand students, and we had 3,000 students.
Okay.
Like that was that explained a lot. They had way more programs, way more stuff to attract players, like the best players and stuff like that.
They can
and
offer
Bishop,
a lot more.
which is a smaller school, that was thinking maybe about closing the football program and stuff like that. So on my last year, they decided that they were going to switch conference to go play against the East.
Smaller schools?
Smaller schools.
Okay.
So most of the biggest school, I think, has 10,000 students.
Which makes sense,
Which makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But that, man, the craziest adventure, because it was about 12 hours of bus. So we were flying out every weekend for football games.
Really?
Flying. But like when I'm telling you flying, it's driving the bus on the tarmac, going straight from the bus to the plane. Like it was NFL kind of environment, you know. Me, the guy that like barely took a bus for a soccer game, then took a bus for 5 hours in France, and now I was like, God damn, I'm getting on a plane to go play a football game. Like it was crazy, man.
Okay.
And it was so crazy that we went 1-7.
You changed the conference. Still the same result.
We did not understand, because like on the past 2 years, there was a inter-conference game, and the past 2 years, the one win we had was against team from that conference.
Okay.
So we're like, oh, we can be good. Like we beat the best team in your conference back-to-back years. Like, we're going to come in that shit and take the first place and make it to the playoffs.
That's what football players always think.
Yeah. And then life got into the way. You know?
A little bit.
But like this year we had everything stacked against us. We had 7 quarterbacks.
And how many games? 8? You played 8 games?
Yeah.
And
so
7 different quarterbacks played?
We had 7 quarterbacks. One of them got transitioned to a wide receiver because we were like, man, we're never going to need 7 quarterbacks. We needed the 7 quarterback. Really? We lost quarterback 1, I think, game 2, ACL. Quarterback 2, ACL. Quarterback 3, fucking tore his labrum or something. Quarterback 4 broke his fucking finger.
Okay, that's easy one compared to the first 3 ones.
Yeah, that one was alright, you know.
I can live with that.
Then we lost one to a concussion, like, and it was just crazy. Then the quarterback that we transitioned as a wide receiver came back as the quarterback. Balled out, bro, crazy. We were playing the first team in the conference, fucking being up 21-7, like in the first quarter or beginning of second. Got hurt.
Oh.
He got fucking hurt.
Fuck's sakes. Again.
So we down to quarterback number 7.
Literally 7 quarterbacks in one
7 quarterback went through that season.
Okay, now that explains a lot.
That explains a lot. When I think every time I'm like, bro, I don't understand how we sucked that much that year. And then I'm like, we get with the guys and we talk about the fact that all our quarterbacks got hurt. And we're like, yeah, that kind of helped us not being good.
Yeah.
And we had a great kid that was supposed to be a red shirt. Quarterback number 7. That was supposed to be a red shirt. So we get dressed because we have no other choice.
Yeah.
Kids actually can play football. Like, we're like,
really?
We find quarterback for the future. Oh, that's cool.
But
he got hurt again. So we went back and forth with quarterback number that broke his hand. So I think it was quarterback number 4, quarterback number 6, and quarterback number 7. Because 7 got hurt at one point. He could somewhat kind of play, but couldn't at the same time. So we had to go in between 7 and 6, and then 7 got really hurt.
Okay.
6 couldn't run anymore. So he was a dual threat quarterback that couldn't run.
Yeah, that's bad.
So that's bad. And quarterback number 4 was a quarterback with a broken hand. So
that's not good either.
So we ended up being really, really bad. That year, I had no catch. Like my last year as a tight end, I had no catch.
How many do you remember who had the most catches? What was that number?
I think we had no receivers above 600 receiving, which in Canadian football is outrageous.
Yes, because it's a passing league.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Okay, that explains a lot,
It was a struggle, you know, like
But so 3 years, and did you get the diploma? You finished school or no? Okay, yeah. Just checking.
So my last year, I had a year and a half of school remaining after I graduated from the football, which was age related.
It is.
Yeah, they put a age limit.
What's the limit?
25.
25.
So I was a 25 years old young bug being told you're too old to play collegiate football. You know, that kind of sucked. At that point, you're like, well.
I mean, not even in my physical prime yet.
Yeah,
but I get it. It's a college, I guess. But
that's a rule that happened the year before. So the year I got rejected, if I would have played that year, that rule would not have applied to me.
Again.
So I have been fucked by rules like, my whole career.
That's crazy.
The year I went back to JUCO, the Canadian and French government had an agreement about like scholarship fees for French students studying in Canada. We were paying the same fees as Quebecers.
Yeah.
Quebecers were paying 1,500 a semester. Canadians, when going to Quebec University, pay 3,000.
Okay, so
a semester,
home discount, pretty much.
Yeah, and like when you're international and you come to the school, you pay 6,000 for.
Even double that.
Yeah, they're just like making a lot of money.
Yeah, off of foreigners.
Yeah. Yes. So the year I was supposed to go to school to university, For some reason, they decided to revoke that agreement. So now a French student went from paying 1,500 to paying 3,000.
Oh shit!
That was a lot of money. I just lost. Yeah.
That. Okay, this one, that one. How many fucking times can you
That,
get screwed?
I think that was the last time I get. No, there is actually one last.
One more?
There is one more. So I'm done with my collegiate career. I get the wonderful opportunity to go play football in Finland. Play an amazing season. I think I have about 300 yard. I got about 20 some catches, like 3 or 4 touchdowns. I have a really breakout season compared to the numbers I was putting before, because we had no quarterback, you know. And come back to Canada, get in touch with a couple CFL scout. You know, we talk. They're talking about the league possibly opening to foreigners like Europeans, South American and stuff like that. Everybody that didn't play college ball in the US.
Yeah.
I was
which how it is right now.
Yes. So I was really
excited, right?
Okay. I was like, maybe I'll get a shot to play CFL football, you know. Past that thing. But the issue was I was not known in French football anymore. You know, when I left, I was a junior.
Oh, really?
I left as a junior that didn't make it with the French national team to the World Cup. So my name wasn't really known around. Even though I played college football, there was no follow-up with the French league about people playing collegiate football and stuff like that. So nobody in the league actually
knew that you were there, right?
Or that I could play football. So my name was never given as a possible prospect for the CFL after I played 3-year collegiate football as a starter. So two guys that got their name got given to the CFL were guys that I played against in college that were not starting or like started a couple games but didn't finish their college career. I finished mine.
Yeah. Okay.
I was a starter. Even though I didn't have crazy numbers, I was still a starter. I bowled out against. I have guys on my collegiate tape that are NFL players or have been NFL players and now play in the CFL. I was manhandling those guys, and my name was never in the ballot.
And that name was supposed to put there by a French league, right?
By the French league. Then after that, the CFL invite you for the national combine. You participate, and then after that, you know, it's done. So I was in Finland.
That's great. That's fucked up, though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Like it's sometimes I'm like, my career could have been so fucking different.
And you know the crazy shit? Okay, now I know it's different now, but they found me. There is no fucking track that you go to Rowan University's page. Yeah, my high school is weird. Yeah. You have to Google that I'm not American.
For real?
Yeah, and they found me. Half of the CFL teams contacted me about like going to the combine and shit.
Yeah.
But, my story was I tore my Achilles. So yeah, not interested.
Yeah.
but they found me and they couldn't find the fucking French guy
that played in fucking Canada.
What the? Okay, I guess it's been getting better over the years. That was 20. So you were 2018. You were in Finland. So you 2017.
That was 2018.
18 actually.
Yeah, that happened in 2018.
Okay.
So 2018, 2019. I think because 2020 I went to the
CFL.
regional CFL combine in Paris. Which it was not a mindfuck because I was living in Canada still, so that I could have been invited in Canada directly, but they made me fly. They made me fly to France.
Okay.
And that one is another kind of fucked up story. So I get somewhat invited. I'm being told that I'm a prospect.
Was that the first year they did it? Or was it?
Yeah, it was.
That was the first year, 2020, but that was...
No, 2020 was the second year they did it. 2019 was the first draft. And then after 2020, they kind of told the league, we're going to organize scouting
For foreigners.
For foreigners in the home countries. So they can send this scout and they were like, okay, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Because from every guy I know that play in the CFL, Canadian players were super mad about the fact that a Canadian player's spot was taken to put an international football player that knew nothing about the game. Was just there for paychecks. Pretty much.
Yeah, take the money.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But okay, let's come back to that because I mean, so 2017 you finished your university, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what was your plan next? Because you were like, did you want to continue football, or how did you end up in Finland? Pretty much.
I don't know what my plan was, to be honest.
Because you weren't planning on finishing school, right?
No, I wasn't. I didn't have the money at the time because my GPA from JUCO followed me all the way to college, so I couldn't have. I had the opportunity to have a scholarship, but I couldn't get one because my GPA got. Well, it didn't got fucked. I fucked it up.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna find a job. I think I'm done with football, you know. And I was my best friend was in college with me at Bishop University, and he was like, oh, maybe try to sign up on Europlayer, and if ever you get a team, you can go back and play football.
Did you know about it before, or?
I kind of did, but I really never needed it. Every time I was going back to Europe, I was going to my team. I was not paying. I was not getting paid. I was paying money to play football, and I was in my head. It always had been like that.
Yeah, that's normal, right?
Yeah, and I never thought, I was gonna go anywhere and getting paid to play football, and I just signed up on Europlayer, put my college tape. And the first play of my college tape was a kickoff coverage play.
Really?
Yeah, it was
showing the versatility there, right?
It was me pretty much killing somebody's kid.
Those are fun ones.
It was a sky kick, and the kid was looking just at the football. I went, avoided the guy that tried to block me butt side. Full speed and just
oh shit! No, that's a nice way to start it.
That was my first play on my highlight, and Seppo, for anyone that know the Finnish league, is the president of Vasa. Told me he saw that play and he was like, "You're my guy."
Okay. Yeah.
He was like, you can play special team. You good tight end. Like, we want you. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to Finland.
Did you have any other offers, or were there any other interests?
I had a GFL1 offer for the Marburg Mercenaries. Right now, a little bit in trouble.
A little bit.
Just enough.
Exactly.
There is a amount of trouble that you can be in, and I think they're about the limit.
At the limit, at least.
And I was... they kind of offered me their base contract for Europeans, and they offered me, I think it was 250 euros a month, and I was like,
no. The other question, actually, I know, I got into it, but were you count as A, or you're a French guy? You don't count as an A.
I don't
right?
count as an A.
But if you would be like a pure Canadian, you would count as an
A.
I
would count as an A,
but because it doesn't matter really. ELF has that weird rule where you first played football, right? Then
so since I started football in France, I would still be a European,
European player.
Yeah, and
Marburg didn't work out. Yeah, wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of money on the first offer was low. I was like, man, I'm a 3-year college starter from Canada. I know how much you're offering to Americans and like other Canadians that would be on your team, and I'm like, I don't feel it. So I went with Finland, which was an amazing decision.
Yeah, you went to Vasa Royals, right?
The Vasa Royals, yeah. First game was a little bit tough, getting back into that American football side of the. And he was also in Helsinki against the Roosters.
Yeah, that's
on their
Velodrome.
The Velodrome, the most famous stadium in football in Europe.
That is ridiculous. Like I've asked so many guys here, like who are not from that area.
Yeah.
Like, everybody have heard of it. Like how
Yeah,
shitty the
I mean,
velodrome is.
it is terrible.
It is shitty.
The fact that is it was 2019 or 2018, but the
Yeah.
fact that nowadays they still play football games on this is crazy.
My first ever game was there, and like I didn't know anything how to dress up or anything. I didn't have an undershirt. I was running back.
Wow.
Yes, my first experience playing American football. Mine is crazier than that. I didn't even have a practice with pads before the game. My first ever time putting pads on fucking Helsinki velodrome, and then my whole body was fucked up. Like everything was so.
I can imagine. I played with it was like 30 some degrees. That was one of the hottest summer in Finland in a long time.
I was there too at the same time, and it fucking was warm.
I was told I'm going to Finland. It
should be cold, right?
Bring like hoodies and stuff like that. Like the summer can be cool, like during midsummer, but the rest is gonna be kind of cool. So bring stuff for the cold. Man, I arrived there. It was I was sweaty every fucking day in my life. I had nothing to prepare me from the hotness that was going to take place in that moment.
That's
so
true.
that game I had like my Canadian stuff that were like double coated like tights for the winter. I played with that. So that at least saved me from the
scores and everything.
But I had cleats on for the first half, and I was sliding everywhere.
You
like
need basketball sneakers. That's
I played with sneakers.
Yeah,
I played with sneakers. I would never think one day in my life that I would play a football game wearing sneakers, and I did.
Yep.
I did.
I literally brought, because I knew, so I played 2018 with Tampere Saints.
Yeah.
That's where I actually first time met you, but I had no idea before this year that I actually played against you. Yeah. But I knew about velodrome, and I purposely brought my old basketball sneakers to Finland with me, because I know, I'm gonna wear basketball sneakers there.
Yeah.
It's way better.
For me, growing up in Europe, like with European footballs, like the big team, Helsinki was part of them, and you see the velodrome on videos and stuff like that, and you think it's an amazing stadium.
Yeah.
You'd like, like they got the markings and everything, like it's a proper stadium and all of that. And then you arrive there and you're like, did I really dream for so many years about that stadium? And it's that?
It's fucking terrible.
It was terrible. So like.
But that was your first experience of Finnish football. Yeah. And you guys lost that probably.
Oh,
right?
we got destroyed.
Yeah,
that was...
Roosters was pretty good at that.
Yeah, they had Brendan Connett and...
and his brother.
Yeah. Like, this team was way too stacked for Finnish football.
Exactly.
Way too stacked.
We got smoked by them too.
I think we took like 66-6, something like that. It was really terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Didn't they like... maybe they did it later. They used to like preseason play like unicorns and shit like that.
Oh, that year they did. Yeah, I think they played in the CEFL that year or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
And
It's still a bit different, but
yeah.
But yeah, that was a crazy ass team. But in general, your Vasa team was pretty good.
We were pretty good.
And okay, no, your head coach story is a fucking ridiculous one.
Oh my god.
And then you had the running back too. So like, because we stayed, so we had 4 Estonians in Tampere, and Martti, who's now is a president. Shout out Martti for Vasa Royals. He's Estonian. So
love you, Marty.
Yeah, cool dude. So I think we had Maple League game first, and then we had the 3rd division game. And most of us Estonians, we played the 3rd division too. Yeah. So we stayed in Vasa overnight at his place. Yeah. That's, you weren't there, but all the quarterback, everybody, everything.
A couple of the guys were there.
We heard the stories that like your running back who got hurt that year, like he was like, how was your coach? Like, ours was really shit. And then he told us the story about the fucking scam that
Man, it was crazy. Like, the level of craziness. Like,
how many hoops you jump through to get to the fucking Finnish football head coach?
Oh,
like, what
man.
the fuck?
Like, the fact that guy ever got a contract in the first place, I'm like, because like, Seppo was really good at recruiting. Like, he had Jacques Lockett, running back that we were supposed to have that season. Unfortunately, tore his Achilles during preseason.
Yeah.
Was a beast.
Was he?
He made me look small.
You look small.
Yeah, me look small. He was a running back. I think he was 6'3", 6'4". He was about 250 pounds. Like, he was jacked.
Okay.
He was a monster. Like, he almost made it to the NFL. Like, did a couple camp.
Okay.
Didn't work out. Ended up coming
To fucking Finland.
coming to Finland.
Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, that's good recruiting right there.
And like, for some reason, like, you know, arena football and all that stuff in the US, like you got some semi-pro leagues that shouldn't be leagues at all. And he knew one of the coaches from there. He got signed, and then the coaches was like, "Oh, like, tell them you're not coming if I'm not coming with you." They were like, "All right, Quiz, you're best. Fuck it, we're gonna sign your coach as well."
Yeah.
And, oh my god, that coach, man! like I have no idea to this day how this man made it. Like, past the border in the first place.
Yep.
He had every feature of everything. Like, a cockhead, a fucking methodic, like a druggie.
Was it? Like, full blown?
Yeah. And like, he had no sense of style either. Like, he had just like the biggest, like, he was maybe 4'11". Nah, maybe not 4'11". Like 5'5".
Yeah.
5'5". Let's give him 5'5".
Let's give him 5'5".
5'5", but wearing like 3XL stuff. Like,
okay. So his width is the same as the height.
it wasn't even that big.
Oh, wasn't?
The clothes was big, but like, he was average size human being, you know. And like, I don't know, man. I've seen him the first time, and like, okay, well, you're personal, but maybe you know your shit. You know, it's your first time in Europe. Yeah. Like, you just got here, so
benefit of doubt, you know.
Benefit of doubt. And he was like, we went out to the restaurant with the quarterback and a couple of the guys that landed that day, and he was like, "Ah, man, like, Sepo ain't got me my money yet. Like, can you pay me? Can you like pay the restaurant for me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, man. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm one of the most generous person ever. I'm gonna shout you dinner. I'm gonna shout you dinner or pay you drinks. Like, I don't mind." But like, I was like, "Man, you don't even have like $10, like, for." Like, you just arrived on a new fucking continent and you don't have $10 to pay for yourself, like a bank account or anything like that."
You don't have any.
I was like, "Oh no, man, like, all right, like, whatever, man." At first practice, he came up to me and he was like, "Oh, so what do you think we should make the guys do? Like, I know you play college and stuff. Like, what kind of drills you guys were doing?" And I looked at him and I was like, "Are you serious right now? You're supposed to be the coach.
You're supposed to be the head coach.
Like, I'm looking for you to tell me what I'm supposed to do, not the other way around." So he pretty much asked me to bring him my playbooks from before,
and he mixed together.
So he could mix together some. And I was like, "Fuck, man,
that's crazy." But he left pretty quickly, right?
Oh yeah. I think after 2 practices or 3, like, they realized that he was not going to bring anything to the team. Like, no offense to him, but like, he brought his girlfriend also at the time, and they were pretty much drunks, like, going to the casino every night.
Okay, so they
at the bar. Vacation. Yeah, they were on full vacation. So he was terrible, but we got rid of him.
What was the running back's name?
The first one we had that got hurt.
Yeah, who came with him? Like, who got hurt?
Jacquiz. Fuck.
You just said it.
Lockett.
Lockett.
Jacquiz Lockett.
And he had, so the coach pretty much scammed him.
Yeah.
No, then I met him. He was there too, I think. But
he was there
because he told me the story.
Yeah.
So that's super cool, dude.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
You know how
he was pretty big though. Yeah.
You know how the Crocodile had Powell as a running back that season? Well, Jacquiz would have been Powell times 2. Like, at practices, I was like, "Man, like, the fuck, we can put you everywhere. You're gonna do some."
Yeah.
Like, he had 3 to 4 people on his back and he was just still running.
Okay. That's pretty good.
It was really good, and we had a pretty good O-line in Vasa at the time as well. And I was up there like blocking, so like
you were.
That guy was not gonna get tackled by any corners.
Okay,
especially in Finland.
And you had pretty good quarterback too.
Oh yeah,
whatever his name was, I don't remember.
Isaac Fisher.
Yeah, Isaac. Yeah, yep.
Isaac Fisher, my boy.
That was a cool crowd. Yep.
Yeah. We had a really great team.
And you made it to the semis. And Roosters, was it?
No,
Kuopio.
Kuopio.
That was their first year in Maple League.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. But yeah, they built a dynasty after that. So yeah.
I mean, they're good at recruiting as well.
Yeah.
You know,
they
got the money.
Yeah,
they got the money. I know in Vasa we were kind of struggling a little bit, but like I know they had the money. And the year after, they actually offered me a contract, but I was I think I'm at that point I was like, I think I'm gonna retire. You know, like financially it was not worthy for me to just go back and forth.
Does anybody even get paid in Europe enough to actually?
Some do,
but long term even.
Long term it's not worth it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you better have a career than like and have a steady job than anything else.
And then after that year, you were thinking about retiring?
I mean, I've done everything I wanted. I had my first professional contract. That
you
summer,
were a professional athlete.
I was a professional athlete. I win the European Championship with the French national team that year.
That year.
Yeah, I know. I say it like it's nothing, you know. Let me just plug it in the conversation. But yeah, like it was the first year. Like they were like, oh, someone reached out to me. They were like, Jerome, you are French, right? And I'm like, yes, I am. They're like, are you available this summer for the French national team? I'm like, well, if you want me to come, I'm available. They're like,
really?
I don't know how your name was never called.
So throughout the college, everything. No, they never contacted you.
I was invisible. Like no one knew about me. I guess like I don't know how it was possible, but
somehow, some way, they didn't know.
I guess they didn't want me so bad that they just scratched me from the universe, you know?
Yeah.
And after the beginning of season in Vasa was amazing. Like I had 1 or 2 touchdowns at the beginning of the season. I had 2 sacks on Brendan Connett against the Roosters. Like, and you know he was a tough fucker too.
Yeah, he was.
Fucking sack. Like, and I got 2 sacks against him. Like, I had a couple TFL, and they were like, "Oh,
come and play.
You wanna be part of the French national team? I don't know why you were not on the list, but like, we can put your name." And I was like, "I'll come.
Yeah.
I'll come." And you know, it was a long summer. But I was like, yeah. At first, I was like, you know what? I don't even care about the French national team.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all. Like you've been ignoring me for like 3-4 years. Like I don't want to fuck with you. And then I was like, but it's a European championship.
Yeah.
It's a European championship. So I went, did the camp. I had one of the ugliest helmet in the history. I think I had the shirt, like the big fucking the big one. And since they already had Kevin Mwemba as a tight end, they were like, we can put you as a tight end number 2, but you would see more field as a fullback. Because they were like playing a lot of high formation and stuff like that.
H-back, fullback kind
of. So I was like, hey, I mean, man, you want to play me as a fullback? I'll play as a fullback. Like I'll play wherever. You tell me I'm gonna see more the field at that position, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I was playing football with the box on my head. I have no idea how I didn't get a concussion or anything like that from the. Like I was going.
You think
really
you
hard.
didn't get one?
Yeah. Officially, I didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Officially, I didn't.
Okay.
But yeah, it was crazy.
2018 summer then.
2018 summer. Yeah. Okay. So it was in Venta, Finland. Like
Perfect.
Didn't have to travel a lot.
Who did you play against there?
We played Finland on the first game. Or the second one. No, we played the UK on the first one.
Okay.
So I think we beat them like 42 some 14 something. It's a really easy game. And then second game we play against Finland. So I had like in Finland. Had a lot of teammates I was playing against, you know, it was a little bit special.
Yeah, I can imagine. And won that one obviously, and then the finals.
And then the final, we play Austria.
Okay.
I got to score a touchdown in the final.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it was really nice. The only thing that sucked about that final was that the Finland was playing the third place game before us.
Mm-hmm.
The stadium was packed.
Yep.
And we arrived we were like, oh, it's gonna be so nice, like a packed stadium. And then we arrived for the final, and everybody was gone.
That sucks.
So it kind of sucked, but we went, bowled out, won it, and it was amazing because my first experience. I always dreamed as an athlete, to win something, represent your country, and win a trophy with it. I always thought it was going to be soccer, for the biggest part of my life. And the fact that I was able to do it with football, I was just happy, So I was like, I've done everything.
Yeah. Let's go to a normal life, right?
Yeah, I was like, I think I'm ready to retire, get my own place and stuff like that. So
and then
I did it.
Who came calling?
My best friend that I played college with was we stopped pretty much the same year. That year he was playing GFL2. He was in Lubeck. I was in Finland, and we were talking about playing together the next year. And then I was like, man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna stop. So he was in college with me. So he went back to Canada at the time. I was back in Canada. He went back to school. I went to work.
But in Canada?
Yeah, in Canada.
Okay.
And then 2020 arrived. COVID was there.
Oh, so you didn't even play 2019?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Okay.
2019, I didn't play. 2020, I went to France for the combine. So that was the other crazy story.
Yeah.
So I get invited.
CFL combine.
Yeah. I get invited unofficially. So they're like, oh, we're looking at you as a prospect.
But show up, but it's not guaranteed that you can actually do something.
So it was not even there. Like, I think it's November. They tell me about it. I'm like, okay, I'm getting into the mindset that I'm going to the combine. So on the side of my job, I'm starting to train and get ready for it. And then in December come, the combine is supposed to be in January. December come, I have no news, no nothing. Send a text. Mid-December come, still no news, no nothing. 1st of January arrive. So, as the guy that was already retired, I'm like, okay, well, it's not happening anymore. So I don't train anymore. I just live my regular life.
Yeah.
First week of January, receive a text. All right, you confirmed as one of the invitee. You need to be there like in 3 weeks. And you're going to do the CFL combine.
3 weeks.
In 3 weeks. So I mean, it's a bit of my fault.
Yeah,
I should have keep training with it
until you get the firm no.
Yes. Yeah.
But
it was another like dodgy situation that I could have avoided if with a straight answer of yes, you come in.
Yeah.
Then I have 3 months to actually train for real for a combine, and I was going to a regular gym, like bench pressing, trying to sprint like in between people. I was doing the elbow drain between the leg press and the bench press, like it was just crazy. Yeah. Definitely didn't have the best results as I expected. I ran a sub 5, like, which is as a playmaker is not nice.
Yeah.
And I was there as a tight end, and they didn't have any drills for tight end.
So you did receiver?
I did the receiver, and then
running back too, or no?
Not even. Okay. Like at one point, the running back were doing pass blocking against the linebacker. So I was like, "Can I go as a tight end?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure, do your thing." So I was like, "Not gonna work out."
Okay.
But that kind of gave me the will to come back to football. So
it's like, again, a middle finger. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I was like, let me prove you wrong again. So unfortunately, 2020 and all the COVID shenanigans.
Where were you in Canada?
In Canada. Okay. I got lucky. Came back a little bit later. So I arrived back from the combine, went back to work, and then I got in touch still with a couple. Like there was a lot, but like it's like one person that was working for Montreal.
Okay.
We talked for a couple weeks.
Like university or the CFL?
No,
team?
the CFL team.
Oh, okay,
But it was Alouettes.
Alouettes, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Close enough.
But yeah, I got in touch and we were talking a little bit. But the CFL Combine was still going on.
Okay.
Other places, so it was like, yeah, we're gonna be in touch with you. Like, really like the tape from your college career, but we gotta see what we can find from other stuff, and we don't see anything. Like, yeah, we'll be in touch. Nothing came out of it at the end. I think they had another draft that year, but then everything was canceled.
Shut down, cancelled anyways. 2020.
So
21.
2020, my girlfriend got pregnant.
Oh, oops. Another life change.
So,
but that turned out pretty good. Like, she's pretty freaking cool.
I had an amazing kid.
Yeah. And she's like a mascot here. Right now for us right
she's
now.
part of the team.
Yeah,
she's getting a ring.
Yeah.
This is not gonna go nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
she's getting a ring for sure.
Yeah,
but
100%.
And my best friend came calling and he was like, "Oh, I got an offer to go back and play GFL 2." And I was like, "Oh, that's so nice, bro. I'm so happy for you." And he was like, "Well, they're kind of looking for a tight end if ever you wanna come."
Okay.
I look at my girlfriend and I was like, "Hey,
there's still some fire burning in there."
Yeah,
like.
there is still something in me. Like, I still feel like I gotta prove something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if maybe it's to myself, I have to prove to myself that I'm good.
Honestly, that's what it's all about, honestly. As long as you deep down you feel your tongue, that's the right time. Yeah. If there's something burning in there, you're gonna regret it afterwards.
Yeah. Stepping away from football, I always have that tension building up, and I'm like, man, if you were on a football field, I'll fuck you up right now. But life. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm going. Like, I'm doing one last season. And
that was 2 years ago.
That was 3 years ago. You have to sell the project somewhere,
Yeah, exactly.
So I went to Rostock,
right?
the Rostock Griffin in GFL 2. That year we had the best year they ever had in the program. I'm pretty sure they kind of tied that this year.
Okay.
Finished 6-2. We could have almost brought the team
to
GFL 1. He came really close.
Okay.
But we lost one game that we shouldn't have. And that kind of got the dream crushed. But yeah, it was like I had 100 receiving yards that year.
Okay.
Blocked, have a fumble recovery as a defensive end.
You played a little bit of both ways?
Just one game.
Okay,
out of the blue, we were missing guys, and they were like, "Jerome, you want to try it?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. I mean,
it hasn't changed yet, honestly.
That's exactly what happened this year.
Exactly.
And I had a good season. It wasn't my best. It wasn't my worst. It was a okay season.
Okay,
but I came home and I was like, I think I can get in a better shape because I was fat. I was about 129, 130 kilos.
You were like
I was a fucking alignment. I have no idea how when I arrived that you just didn't send me home. I was puffy everywhere. My face was puffy.
Yeah, okay.
But I was like, man, I still have something to prove. So I was like, let's go try again. And then I got a couple offers, GFL 1. And I was like, oh, I get GFL 1 offers?
That's almost the top league in Europe, best domestic
I had
league,
a couple offers in the ELF, and I was like, oh, you know what? I don't really know the ELF league, the people and shit like that again. And
that was the first year? No,
second year, yeah. Yeah, and I had Brandon Oswin that was also being looked at the same team. So I was like, hey, you know what? Potsdam Royals, it will come.
Yeah.
And that's been the love story since that, a year and a half. I mean, that's the second year.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And you're right here?
I'm right there.
You're right there. Yeah. October.
Yeah. Hey. Running back. Playing running back right there,
Against Cologne.
Against Cologne, yeah. It's a regular season game.
Yeah.
60 or 70 rushing yard that game. Hey. You know what's crazy about last year? I think I had about 70 receiving yards.
Mm-hmm.
I had 70 rushing yards, and I had 115 returning yards.
So you did a little bit of everything.
I did a little bit of everything.
I mean,
I played on the D line as well. Like that was the worst situation possible. We played Dresden at home, first game. Haven't played defensive line for.
Dresden was a reigning champ.
I think they
21
were.
they won, yeah.
21 they won. So
Yeah,
2022 they were the reigning champ.
Yeah.
And I just get thrown in the bath. Like, hey Jerome, like we need one more defensive end. You going? I'm like, oh okay. Okay. Okay.
Let's do it.
Oh man, I got bullied.
Yeah.
I got bullied. They put me in the 3-tech. They were like, I was getting
Eat those double teams.
I was getting double team. I was like, what the fuck?
That's funny. Okay, but last year in general, you got here like team was stacked. Last year, was it even in beginning of the season? You guys knew like you have something special here.
We didn't.
You didn't?
That's the craziest part. I mean, I'm sure David as the recruiter was like, we got a great team.
Yeah,
you know,
and better than last year because they were semi-finalists 2021.
They went to this quarterfinal. I think.
No, I think it was semis. They went to Srebishan and lost there, right?
Oh, then it was in the semis.
I think it was semis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, man. Like they were talking about how special we were gonna be and stuff like that. And I was like, I mean, we can be special. I have no idea.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I've been to so many places where people are like, we're gonna be special and be 1-7.
Yes, I've heard that's selling point too before.
So we get there and we were stacked, but not that stacked. You know, like offensively we were, defensively we had a couple guys, but we were missing a couple key players for that first game. But I think it just clicked. You know, when you get somewhere and like people just get along together, like that's what it was.
That's what team sport's supposed to be.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
honestly.
But that was the first time in my life I was like, oh man, that's a team. Like that's a family. Like it's crazy. I had that in Rostock, like the little bit of family, but it was more because of the import. Like we were all living in the same building. We were all together. So we called ourselves the Terrible 8 because a lot of shenanigans were going on when we were together.
Yeah, I've heard.
But nothing major.
Yeah.
Mommy favor you. But yeah, no, like it was really, really a sense of family. Like we were there for each other. Nobody was thinking they were bigger than the team. Like we had Brandon Polk and Jared Wolf, which were both the leading receivers in the league, be setting up the field or picking up the field after practice. Like it was just like random stuff like that. They would carry your pads to bring them in the container for you. Like, you know, stuff like that where we were just out there for each other.
That's the sign of leadership though.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the ultimate thing. Like
those guys were not talking a lot. I was kind of the speech guy.
No shit.
Yeah, if you want to know, that episode was supposed to be 30 minutes, so I'm sorry.
Well, what are we? 1:37. We still have time. I mean, like we have no rush.
But and those guys were just amazing. I think they set up an example that just everybody was the. We had Kari. I wish I could say his last name.
I don't remember it. It's a proper Finnish one. Yes.
Painainen or something like that. I'm sorry, Kari, but. You know, it was like silent guys like that were just like
unselfish.
doing the work and being unselfish. Like it was just a great group of guys, and we were like, all right, let's see how much we can do for each other.
And you fuckers dominated. Like that's crazy. Like because like David contacted me like 2022 too. That was when I came back to Estonia, but I was injured, so I was out. But because of that, I kind of kept an eye on you guys. I was looking at the box scores. Okay, what the fuck are you guys doing here? Like scoring 80 points and shit.
We scored 81 points in a football game. Yeah. Like that is outrageous. Yes, that we were able to do that.
Yeah, that Miami Dolphins scored 70 points in the NFL. Like that's historic. Yeah, like it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't happen
50
like that.
Maybe, but even it doesn't matter what level. Like it's fucking difficult to score like 80 points.
Yeah, and it was just crazy. It was one of the hottest game ever. Like it was the middle of summer.
That was against
the Berlin Rebels.
Yes, that was that game, right?
And all right, we had that mentality that we were gonna fuck with people like mentally every time. So our OC was like, you know what? We're gonna play full black in that game because the Berlin Rebels usually play full black.
Yeah.
So they were like, we're gonna force them playing in white because they're not used to it, and we're gonna play in full black. I was like, I understand.
Yeah, looks cool. You know?
Looks cool. And then you arrive to the stadium, fucking 36 degrees, and you're like, so why are we playing full black again?
And that was our decision?
Yeah. Like that was not because they forgot their white, black jersey. It was because we decided to play full black. And the OC was like, you know what? I'm gonna wear a hoodie because it's not even hot. I'm gonna show them I'm not even hot. And we did a circle of life before the game.
What?
Yeah.
Well, like for real?
For real. Me and Brendan, our star right tackle, went at it.
Circle of life is, just for so people don't know, you're in circle, right?
Yeah.
And one-on-one in the middle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you go with like 3-point stance, just bang into each
Bang!
other. Full speed, and
Full
whoever
speed.
can push this other way, that wins, right?
Yeah.
That's like old school coaching. That's like what
That's
you do in the
really
training camp.
old school.
Yeah, that's like really old school.
Really old school. And we did that.
Before the game.
Before the game.
Full blacks.
Before the game, wearing full black.
Okay. I mean, it might send the message.
He sent no message. They were not looking at us. They were not looking at us. There was no message sent.
Only you got tired.
There was no message sent. You can ask anybody. They got not scared. That game was 50-50 at halftime. Like,
was it really that
yeah,
bad?
it was like we were scoring in one play. They were scoring on the kickoff return.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah, like it was that bad. We were doing a 5-play drive to score, running full speed, no huddle. And then 2 plays later, we were back on the field.
Fuck's sake. That had to be terrible, though. In 30 degrees or even more.
The legend has that some of us had a little disease that was running around at the time. So people were just dying. Dying. I never had a really great, amazing cardio. So I was like, and I look to my right and I see Brendan, who usually has a pretty good cardio, was gassed. And then I looked at my left. Yazir Raji, which is like the prototype of a human being, was dying. And I was like, there is a problem. There is a problem.
That's not normal.
That's not normal.
Okay.
And we still found a way to score 81 points.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean the whole season. You guys went 12-0, right?
Yeah.
First round of playoffs was kind of, halftime was tight, right, against Spider?
Yeah, it was about 20, 21, 22, something like that.
And then second half pulled away, right?
Yeah, we pulled away second half.
And then semis was Cologne?
Semi was Cologne, and we just...
That was relatively easy.
Oh, man.
Oh, that was a blowout?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was kind of surprising because Chris Helbig, our starting running back, broke his hand on the first drive.
Oh, okay.
On Curry's helmet on running back. So we lost our starting quarterback on the first drive. So a lot of the time, that
should be it, yeah.
I've done that in college.
Yeah, you had 7.
Exactly. I've done that in college and we didn't win games.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's going to make it tough. And no, Robbie Patterson, a backup quarterback, just
balled out,
came in and balled out. But like, balled the fuck out. He put 50 points. In the
semifinals.
I think we went 7-on-7, like on our drive, 7 touchdown. In a semifinal.
With the backup quarterback.
With the backup quarterback.
That's ridiculous. That shows the fucking depth, though.
Yeah.
That team was good.
We're just balling out for each other, you know? And you know what's crazy? Randy Jackson, the OC, complained the whole season about the fact that we didn't have a backup quarterback. It's really rare in Europe that you have a backup American quarterback.
Yeah.
So to kind of appease him, at one point they were like, all right, we're going to bring the backup quarterback, so he's going to be there. You know, you always sign someone as a backup that stays home just in case. Like, we're going to bring you in if our starter get hurt. So Robbie was with us for a couple of weeks now. And then got to play the semifinal, bowled out, and got to play the German Bowl. Yeah. And he still played really well in the German Bowl.
It was decent.
I think we had a couple decisions that went against
couple of
us.
plays here and there.
I mean, you score a touchdown after 14 drives.
14 plays.
14 plays drive. You score a touchdown. We had a KOR touchdown that got called back because of me.
Yep.
So, for what, if you guys have never seen the clip, I tried to blow out someone on KOR. I missed.
Kickoff returns?
Yeah, on kickoff return. Tripped, fall to the ground, and some guys from the other team just tripped on top of me. So the referee called the flag on that for
illegal block.
Illegal
Like a cut block.
Cut block, illegal cut block, which was not one. Like if you watch the video, you clearly see that I'm just a dumbass that tripped and like somebody fell on top of him. So we had a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Called back.
Ran the field for 14 plays. 14 running plays.
Okay.
We passed the ball, maybe 13 running plays and one passing.
Pass, yeah.
Scored a touchdown. Go for onside kick.
Which was returned.
Which was returned for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then after that, after having just one play off, you have to go back on offense.
Yeah.
So he was really, really terrible. I think we just had a couple decisions, couples of plays that could have gone both ways, but that went for the Unicorns. They were definitely more experienced.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we arrived there, and for a lot of us, it was the first time playing a big stadium.
Yeah, that was the Frankfurt Stadium.
Yeah,
right? That's
it's
like
a 50,000 seat stadium.
Yeah, that's where
it was empty, but it's still a 50,000 seat stadium.
That's where NFL is going to go this year, I think. Is it the same stadium or they're going to use a different Frankfurt one? I think it's the same one.
I think it's that one.
Yeah, I think so. It's a fucking high, like world-class fucking stadium.
Yes. I played in a stadium where NFL teams are going to play. You know, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. But yeah, like it was just like, I think we lacked experience. It was the first time for the Warriors making it to the German Bowl.
Yeah.
And they were not better than us, but they played better than us on that day, and that was enough for them to win.
Yeah, and defense couldn't stop the run there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they had one of the most tacked offensive linemen in offensive line in Europe. You know? And
fair enough.
It showed.
Good team. Like you can't say anything. And I mean, we're recording it literally
exactly a week away before we play them again
in the finals. Yeah. So I mean, that's how we started this year too, with going over this game. Like,
that game meant so much for a lot of us, you know. Okay. And I think for the team as well, for like people around the team, we just have to win.
Yeah.
Have to beat
them. They put so much work into that stuff.
Like, we pretty much prepared for a whole off season for that game.
Yeah.
To win it.
That's fair. It wasn't like it was fucking difficult to get there.
It was.
Like semis last week was fucking difficult. Like that was a challenging game. We got Dresden for a second time, so we got the home field advantage. That helped a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like that helped a lot. The first Dresden game was fucking shit show. Like defensive wise, yes, that was a shit show.
I mean, offensively, we were not perfect either.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and that's why that was the difference eventually. Like they got two more than
that was the only way we got beat this year. Is for a team they had to go perfect. And
they literally went perfect.
They went perfect. They scored on every drive. They stopped us twice on defense. And that was it. Yeah. They won the game like that.
Yeah. And fair enough. But then we went to their place and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you all made a meme about winning against us. And
yeah. I mean, fair enough. If you win, like...
Like, but karma came knocking.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then we got New Yorker for a second time too. And that was a freaking challenge last week.
God.
That was like... those games that are actually difficult games and you fucking end up winning it. They feel so fucking
Those
good.
are the best.
Yes.
Those are the best ever. Like, I would rather be losing a game, the whole game, and just win on the last second than blow out a team.
Yeah.
And that...
our quarterfinals.
the quarterfinal was...
Yes.
Like, he didn't make us better. He didn't make us worse. Like, it was just useless.
Yeah.
When you look at every other playoff game this year from the GFL...
That's been ridiculous.
That was crazy. Like, if you guys have not watched those games... Just watch the highlight or like go on Sport Dutchland.
Yeah.
Or Dutchland
Sport.te or something like that. Google GFL.
GFL football, and you're gonna find it. But like those games were actually amazing football games.
Remember we watched the Dresden Unicorn game. Like we went crazy there.
I think I've never been crazy watching a football game like I did for that one.
That it was ridiculous. Then week before that New Yorker Alco game was ridiculous.
Yeah, double overtime. Like you don't see that every time.
Nope.
Like
GFL doesn't even have overtime.
Yeah, exactly. Double overtime, only won by a successful 2-point conversion on the second overtime. Even the game Dresden against Saarland. Saarland was getting destroyed before halftime and came back and almost
one-position game. Like
almost won
chance,
it. Yeah. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, and even the Rebels and the Unicorns game was just weird.
Yeah,
that was like.
I think the Rebels, if they had a healthy quarterback, definitely might take away that game.
Yeah. But it's buts and ifs, and you can make those arguments for it. And I guess Obi was kind of not 100% either the New Yorker running back, so they're the best player. So it's like it is what it is. We are here.
It's not my problem.
Yeah, exactly. We weren't perfect either.
And we gave them plenty of opportunities to win that game, and they didn't. So it was just a hell of a football game. I think the atmosphere in the stadium was crazy.
By far the best game most electric game I've played in Europe. Europe, by far.
Let's give an example of I think it was the first drive in the fourth quarter. The defense make a interception. We start with the ball going up the field, and after 2 or 3 plays, our quarterback fumbled the football, recovered by New Yorkers defense, and then we there's only
5-point game. It was a
5-point game. They score on that drive.
Yeah.
They go ahead, and it's definitely a different game.
Yeah.
And our defense get another interception.
Yep.
Like, that was just crazy.
Yep. It was going back and forth.
Back and forth. The ball was just staying in the middle of the field, and defenses were battling out. Yep. It was crazy.
And then on 4th down, Richard got the touchdown pass that he catched 2 times.
Yeah. When he kind of bubbled the first time he touched the football, and I was like, no, yes!
Yep, and we were able to close it out, but still, we were ahead. It was fucking. You watch the clock, okay, it's going slow. Don't fuck up.
They try. We got a sack in the last 7 seconds, and they still find a way to get a play that was. We knew we had won that game, but that shows you how much we were fighting.
Yeah.
They were down by 2 or 3 score, and they were still trying to get a play to try and score a touchdown.
Yep.
Ronaldo Tomasero get a pick on that play, but that was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
And now here we are again. Here we go again.
This I think this year it's actually going to be a football celebration a little bit more than last year. Last year, Frankfurt, it was really expensive.
Yeah,
I heard. The tickets were crazy. From 80 to 150 bucks.
80 was the lowest.
Yeah.
This year, I think 15 is the standing
15 was the standard.
Yeah. Standing ones.
Unfortunately for our fans.
It's
on
more expensive for our side.
Higher 60. But it is still acceptable.
Yeah.
Compared to what was last year. And apparently the stadium is pretty packed. So it's
that's what I've heard too.
The revenge from last year.
Yeah,
it's gonna be nice.
And Hall is a fucking good team too. They've been there too many times.
They've been there enough time.
We have 2 guys who have won a German Bowl before on our entire team, and we have 60 guys. Whatever fucking.
I mean, half of their roster won the German Bowl last year.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's but we know now. We know now what that feels like to lose it. But I don't know.
I wasn't on there, but I know what it felt like.
Man.
Like I can feel it.
Talking
like,
about that,
yeah.
I still want to cry. You know, like I'm watching videos. I had a video from last year pop up on my feed. Oh, look at Romero from last year, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. You know, like it was. I
just
tough.
stumbled on Royal's YouTube page. They had to recap your speech, like pre-game speech and stuff. Like I was like, okay, here we go again. 2023. Let's go. Let's try to
I mean, we made a promise. We said we were gonna be back, and we're back.
And we had quite a bit of guys come back too.
Yeah. So,
but actually, quite a bit of turnaround too, which is like that crazy thing. Like we've come together as a team.
Oh yeah,
pretty good now.
I mean, I think as a team we have everything that we need. The player creeds, the little bit of the inside of the team that I think is bringing a lot of us together. That's just amazing. We play as one. Yeah, like we showed that during the semifinal where offense or defense in some teams after a turnover they can like get into each other's way, like arguing about like, oh, what the fuck are we doing and stuff like that, and it did not happen. Yeah. Like we were just like, all right, offense, you turned the ball over. Don't worry, we got your back. We're gonna get you the ball back, and that's what happened.
And you responded. You scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
in the end,
and we were struggling, and we were like, all right, defense, don't worry, we're gonna score the next touchdown. Yeah, that's what we did. That we was for each other, and like it's pretty nice. That's one of the reasons why I still love soccer a lot. Like I watch soccer like from time to time on the weekend and stuff like that. There's nothing like football.
Yeah, no.
Nothing.
There's nothing like football. You don't have that locker room anywhere else. Like I've played basketball for 8 years, not even close. No. Not even. It's fun, but fuck, football is different.
Yeah,
like it's you have so many fucking characters on the team.
Oh man, like it's crazy. It's crazy. Like it is. You have about 50 to 100 people that get punched together. Yeah, and like you put your life into the guy next to you.
You're like, for us, like we're in a fucking foreign country, like doing like playing football like for 6 months now, like literally from April 14th I flew in or something like that. Like,
it's gonna be straight 6 months. Yeah, like for the German ball. Yeah, and it's gonna be crazy because like we got there as like not knowing anyone. I mean, I knew guys from last year, but like not knowing what the team was gonna be. Yeah, you know,
you never know.
It's like never the same team.
Even if you have majority of the guys coming back, doesn't guarantee it's the same. It's a fucking new year every year.
Yeah. You can have one guy missing and like the chemistry is gone.
Exactly.
And luckily we were able to create that chemistry again.
It wasn't like easy straight through.
No, it was. We built it. We built it. Like the first week, man, I didn't know who the fuck you were, and I think the second week I didn't know either. And like, look at us now.
Yeah, exactly. And fucking best story. Like I didn't know you, but I knew of you before. But I didn't put together like that's the same Jerome I played against in Finland. When I saw your Vasa tattoo, I was like, you played for Royals? Ah, are you that French guy? Okay, but then like first day of training camp, like full benefit. That was fucking shit show. Weather, like God. That was like I thought I come to Germany, little south. It's like fucking shitty Estonian weather. Like what the fuck? But the inside run, and we run. You guys ran a split zone to me, like, and I had to box you out, right? And you came like and. You stopped. We had the fucking collision, and then you whispered in my ear, "You know, I could have cut you here." I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" but that's a fucking best thing ever. Like that's a fucking team, you know. That is so fucking.
But cool, like it's crazy how like the football world is tiny, man. Yeah, like the fact that like we were looking at my fucking highlight and like you on it, like you. I mean, it was
If I'm under, it's not too good.
It was not a good thing for you. It was a really good one for me. But like, it's crazy that the fact that we played against each other like 4 or 5 years ago, and now we on the same team. You know, like
out of the blue, like
out of the blue. Yeah, like it's crazy.
Like that's what I enjoy about football the most. Like I was in US. I played college football there. Fucking COVID fucked it up pretty bad.
Yeah.
I ended up playing only 1 year. Fucking great. Like I would have loved to play more, but yeah, life.
It is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like first time ever like playing like professional, like a European import. Oh my fucking God. Why can't I do it all the time? Like I don't feel like coming back to work right now. Like,
I know. I feel you, man. And now I'm 30 years old, and I don't know when I'm gonna stop. Like every year I say it's the last one, and like I said that 3 years ago, and look at me now.
It's like you don't want to go back to the real life.
No,
honestly. Like,
no, it's a different life. I try it, and it's hard. It's hard to, as an athlete to be able to just give up on that identity that you have as a football player. I mean, one day you have to, but like right now, I feel like I still got that fire in me that I'll take guys 5, 6, 7 years younger than me and fucking kick their ass up, and I'm like, well, old man got you there, right there.
And I mean, what you like next year probably still gonna play, right?
I'm gonna play.
You're gonna play.
I'm gonna play. Like even if we win it or lose it this year, like I'm gonna play. Like I'll have that fire in me. I'll prove once again this year that you get the ball in my hand, I'm almost unstoppable. If I decide to block you, I'm like, you're not gonna make the play.
It's fucking miserable. First time I have summer break, I came back from my injury. It's like, okay, I'm on the left side. Okay, so I have to go against Brandon. Then I see that 89 coming my way too. Fuck off! I'm not gonna go my first snap against you and Brandon. He's like, fuck off.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's an unfair advantage sometimes,
but
you know. But
that's the like. I legit remember my game against you in fucking Finland. Yeah. It was you, and you had a Swedish left tackle too.
Yeah.
It was
Eric Bloomberg.
Yeah, it was fucking struggle, but I still remember it because it's so rewarding when you get some there.
Oh
too.
yeah,
like it's like I love going against Brandon in practice
because you had pressure on a quarterback on a couple plays.
Exactly, and I love going against Brandon in practice because he's so fucking good, but at the same time, I'm gonna get him a couple of times, and that's gonna feel so good. And it's like I'm gonna get better by doing that. It feels so much better.
That's what make it nice on the D line. Is like you get one or two
exactly.
wins. You had a good game. Exactly. You get a game with 2 sides, man. Like the league is gonna come.
Exactly. It doesn't matter that after those 2 I get pancaked.
Nobody gives a shit. Like you get them 2 sides, hey brother.
That's funny. Yeah, that's just football. But so I don't know. I might put it out before the German Bowl. So maybe people
It would be nice.
I can put it up like
Monday, and you know what? I'm giving you guys a little bit of an insight. We're gonna win it.
Yeah. That's a fucking plan.
Yeah.
Like, I've never won anything in football.
Yeah, so, for real?
No, I've never won. I've been second so many fucking times. It's fucking ridiculous.
Last year was actually the first time in my life I lost the final.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do that many, but
exactly.
In soccer, every time I was going to a tournament, we won it.
Uh-huh.
In football, when I made it to the final with the French national team, we won it.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I was like, we're going to make it to the bowl. And even if the odds were stacked against us, I really did think we were the best team and we were going to win it. And for a long time during that game, I was like, yeah, we're going to win it. And then, of course, we didn't.
But that's like, if we can pull it out this year, it's going to be so much sweeter for you guys. Yeah.
Like for all the people that followed us last year and this year.
Not only fucking players.
Oh, no.
People who are helping us around too.
Like most of the players do it for the people around the team. Like it's not. And that Jalen Anderson, a quarterback this year, told me something really interesting. You know, when you look at Dresden Unicorns, the speech and stuff like that, most of them are being given by coaches. The whole year, those were given by players. Players were taking care of like administration and stuff like that because we care so much about that game and like winning the championship for the people around that like it's about us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
For them.
Like Coach Weiger always says, like, players are the players at the end of the day. Coaches are only there to fuck things up usually. like at the end of the day, players have to do it. So.
We have to do it, and I really do think like we have. they're still the favorite. Like they won it 5 times.
They've been there.
They beat us last year. They've been here there multiple times. They've been on the same team for multiple years. Like the unicorns are not guys that
they're the fucking standard in GFL.
Yeah,
they've been for the past 10 years or so.
And man, like going to Schwäbisch at the first game of the season, like when you grew up in European football, Schwäbisch Hall, Braunschweig, New Yorker, like those are the team that you dream about.
Yeah.
Those are the one that like they got the big stadiums, they got the big crowd. Like it's tough to go out there and win. I had people
from Estonia texting me after we beat Unicorns at their place.
It was the first time in 10 years.
Yeah. They lost at the home game. Yeah. And I had people from Estonia telling me, that's a fucking great job. I didn't even know they know you fucking German football. Like that's how like big that was.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that shit wasn't easy. Like that was like the second half we were able to
fight.
Yeah.
It was a fight. So I think the German ball is again gonna be a big fight.
Yeah. Looking at the fucking playoff games, most of the playoff games, it's gonna be a close one.
Yeah. I think the level of the league became a little bit more similar. Like the top teams are top teams and like they play top football quality.
Yeah.
So I think that we're gonna have a top quality final.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. Like the two best teams from your league. It shouldn't be a blowout.
Yeah, so that trophy is gonna be feeling even sweeter to lift.
Exactly. But Jerome, it was a fucking blast.
Ah man, I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, it was 2 hours and 2 hours 4 minutes and almost 5 minutes. We still have like 10 seconds to waste.
Well, if you're still listening,
yeah, exactly. If you're still listening,
I'm grateful and I'm sorry at the same time. I swear he told me it was gonna last 40 minutes, and no.
That's fine. I don't care. There is no time limit. Like that's why I love those things. That's why
it was a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And if ever you have any question, I might come back for round number 2.
You can always do it.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Jerome. And see you guys next time.
See you.